Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Trailblazers Cafe on the Bold Business Women's channel. I'm Nancy Fox, the Business Fox, and I'm a business and life transformation coach, and I work with high-performing professional and executive women, guiding them into the experience and the journey into entrepreneurship. Now, today, I really want to talk to you about something that's been discussed a whole lot. I mean, we can barely go online anymore. We don't see somebody posting something about mindset and how important it is when you're building a business. So much has been written about it. So much has been talked about it. But I thought today what would be really fantastic, and of course, I myself experienced a massive requirement for mindset transformation when I started my business close to 20 years ago, which is amazing. And I came out of the corporate world so negative, and so, a lot of just such negative thinking about myself and my potential. Well, today I have a very special guest who is a client of mine who has gone through the process of before, during, and after mindset transformation. And I want to introduce you to her because she's got a great experience to share with you. I want to introduce you to Rochelle Odesser, who is a financial advisor and she's a financial advisor and planner and an entrepreneur herself. Rochelle, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for inviting me in. And of course, thank you for all the conversations we've had over the years.
Yeah, we've worked together a
long time. Actually, it's 9 years because I recall it was Hurricane Sandy in the New York area.
That's incredible. And that really makes me just so, makes me feel very mushy inside to know that had this, really ongoing relationship through a lot of ups and downs, bumps, but always seeing your journey has been so fantastic and so successful. Now, I thought it'd be really helpful for people who have, who are just beginning this journey to sort of experience what you were going through. Like, what made you decide to start working with a coach and start working on your own mindset? What were you experiencing at the time?
Well, I had been in the current business I'm in for a couple of years. And as a financial advisor, that period from 08 and 09 was very challenging because we were going through the recession. And it was very challenging, not just in the fact of the markets were very choppy, et cetera, but people who were clients of mine were experiencing a lot of concern and worry about what was going on with their personal finances, with their some of their businesses. I mean, I do work with a lot of New York State court employees or civil servants. So they have a very stable income even during that time, but they were experiencing the same kind of, to use a technical term, agita, because of what was going on in the markets. Yeah. And so the challenge on my end was obviously talking with them and helping to keep the people who are current clients of mine on an even keel. And that takes a lot out of me personally, because I always had to be, upbeat and even. I couldn't show any anxiety or stress that I was feeling. And on the other hand, it was also challenging to get new business. And part of why I'm in business is to grow it as well. And so I was looking for ways or I knew I needed some assistance to help me deal with my own head, as well as provide some strategies for getting to other avenues of how I can meet people and to help grow my business.
Got it. What were some of the debilitating or the thoughts that were pulling you down instead of boosting you up at the time when you first realized that you needed to go to work on this? What were some of the, some of the inner messages that you were telling yourself that were pulling you in the wrong direction?
Sure. Well, one of it is fear. Fear of, am I giving the right advice? If I'm saying to people, wait this out, or am I being true? And I don't mean true in terms of factual, but true to something I believed.
Yeah.
So I had
Authentic.
thank you, authentic. I had to feel that I was being authentic, and that was a challenge. I had to, I knew I was not doing the kinds of activities in my business and my work that I needed to do in order to help grow it, because I was blocked. I was scared.
What kinds of
I
activities?
didn't feel confident.
Right, you didn't feel confident. And so when you're not feeling confident, what kinds of activities were you not doing that you
Mhm.
knew you would do if you had that confidence and belief in yourself?
Well, of course, one of them at the time was something we could do a lot of, was go to networking events.
Right. You wouldn't
Which
stop yourself from going?
I would stop myself from going. Or if I did push myself to go, I might talk to one person and then say, okay, I did it, and leave. And I knew I had to overcome that. And I knew I had to figure out a way to do it. And again, hearing someone else say to you, you're good enough, you're more than good enough, you can do this, that push is what you need. And despite what many people think, doing this kind of work is really very lonely.
Yeah.
I mean, it
is lonely.
It is lonely. When you work for yourself, it is lonely. And even though I'm part of a firm, I'm the only female advisor. I'm the only female in my position. So it's a different perspective.
Women do things differently. They do. They network differently. They relate differently, right? And that's not something we're making up or we're imagining. It is really.
No, it is true. It is true. I sit in a room with, we're having a meeting about something, and I'm hearing what they're saying in an entirely different way than the guys are sitting around that table.
That's funny. It's interesting. So give an example of, okay, so now you say, okay, I need help, and we start working together. Give an example that really stands out for you for when you really saw how your mindset was working against you, and then what you were able to do once you had some new tools and some techniques.
Sure. Well, we say this many times, and I know you say you've used it when you've talked about things.
And it's truly like, I never forgot this one.
Right. I wouldn't feel nauseous. And
when would that come up?
That would come up, let's say, when first of all, if I knew I had to go to an event.
Right.
So I would be that uncomfortable feeling. And even though you hear people saying, you got to push through the nervousness or whatever, it's hard. It's hard.
Yes.
And success begets success.
Right. Right.
But until you have that experience, it's hard to know what to draw from.
Yes. I remember, one of the things that I do with all of my clients is I'll ask them in my onboarding conversations, or, I ask them, okay, how will I know if you are in resistance mode? How will I know? What do you think you'll be doing or thinking or acting like, so that I'll be aware of when you're actually not, when you're pulling back.
Right.
And
Right.
I remember, what happened was you sort of escaped somewhere, and I kept trying to get you to come back into conversation.
That's right.
I meant, right? And then when we finally got back in touch, I said, normal, this is what people do. They will,
Right.
You warned me on your intake form, you said, I'm gonna escape. So I knew what was going on. But then when you shared about that, you actually felt nausea in your stomach, in the pit of your stomach, when you were feeling confronted by something, stepping into higher ground, talking to higher level people. Right. I said, oh, we can work on that. We can work on that. That's not the problem. That's the symptom.
Right. And that was a real aha moment for me.
Right. When it's a symptom, and that it just means that instead of going off the 2-foot diving board, you're going off the 10-foot diving board. No wonder you're feeling a little, everybody would feel that, right? But
Right.
it's still diving. It's still, it's not like going to be any different if you're using the right techniques. And
Right.
that's a really interesting thing. So now what happened? So then what happened? Now, once you made that once you got that awareness, then what happened?
Well, then it in my own head, I said, oh, when I'm feeling that feeling, it's not bad. It just means that I'm going to do something which I'm not comfortable with. And maybe at this moment, I don't feel 100% confident that I got it, that I've got this conversation, or I could meet this person who, runs a 10 attorney law firm or whatever the case may be. I've got it. I've got the tools because I bring something that they don't have.
Right. It's so, see, once you know that you're in command of your mind, the thing is, most people never learn how to take hold of a fear or a physical symptom like that. I can't tell you how many clients have gotten the flu, headaches, they've gotten infections, they've had accidents. This is what happens when people are confronted by stepping into higher power. It's not just me. This happens for people. You hear about it all the time. Take a look at some of the most famous people in the world. They get to a certain pinnacle and then they do something to mess it up. And it's the subconscious mind telling you not to stretch, but you didn't do that, you stretched. And then what happened? So what happened out of stretching into new ground and ignoring nausea?
Well, so in the last 9 years, Nancy, I've tripled my business.
How do you feel about it's amazing. How do you feel about yourself?
I'm very comfortable. And I don't say that in a negative term. I say that in the way that I am comfortable in my skin. I am comfortable in the person I am.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in what I have to offer to people. It allows me to, I think this is very important. It allows me to just be still and listen. Which, if anyone is in a service business, isn't that a really big key tool to have?
It's gigantic. And the thing you said before, I want to resonated with me because almost every woman I talk to really at some level believes that she's not enough in some way. It's the not enough that is early on socialized into us for most of us,
Right.
including, like, I was just listening to the Adele interview, and she was talking about her own imposter syndrome. That's Adele. I mean, hello. Crazy, really crazy for someone that talented and that accomplished and that financially successful. I mean, the evidence is all there, right? And yet not enough. Imposter syndrome. So if you were going to give one piece of advice to other business owners like you, what's the pearl of wisdom that you would give them about mindset in business?
First of all, it's a constant. You have to be, it's something that you have to be watchful and aware of every day, every minute, just what am I thinking? If you come across a piece of paper that may be negative, or maybe it's something you don't want to deal with, that's probably your mindset.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a piece of paper that, or a situation where it's going to take you to the next level, or that you're putting yourself on the line.
Right.
And that, of course, is scary. Are they going to say yes? Are they going to say no? What's the worst? When we're confronted with a new opportunity, if the worst case scenario is no, and you are where you currently are standing, is that so bad?
No, and I think no, we have to remember that every single no, the more no's we get, the more yeses we're gonna get.
That's right.
Because we can't have it, there's no other way to go there, right? The
Right.
key is to not give up. The key is
That's right.
to not stop. And so what you did by uncovering this blind spot for yourself is so, that's what I really would love every single person who's watching this and listening to you really get, that you had to be willing to get out of your own blind spot, to number one, realize this isn't working. My way isn't working. I really need to do something about it. What other ways can I? And I think that today, the thing I'm seeing more and more now, especially now since the pandemic started,
Right.
women are really looking for deeper connections in order to get those greater results. We understand that through these connections that we're making and opening our minds to better thinking, more healthy thinking, more, deeper beliefs about ourselves, we can accomplish exponential results, just the way, tripling your results. And, the key is, 9 years may seem like a lot of years, except that the actual on the ground impact of all the people you have helped with this, just because think about not just your own mindset for you, but think of all the people whose lives were impacted because you were able to help them.
Yes, and I believe, and we're also trained or brought up to be modest. Oh no, it wasn't me. Oh no, I didn't.
Right.
But you know what? I accept all of that. Yes, I really. A couple, maybe it was a year or two ago. It's hard to remember now, but it happened during the pandemic. I spoke to a couple who I had seen 4 or 5 years previous, and we had one meeting. I never met them, but they came to me again several years later, and she said to me, that one conversation that I had with them, I spent with about an hour with them, saved their marriage.
Oh my God. Wow, that's incredible.
I was stunned. I never knew
until,
until
right. We don't know how far reaching, if we were willing to stand firm and stand confidently in our own belief in ourselves, how many more people we can impact. Because today, one of the interesting thing is, it's great that you tripled your business, and I'm thrilled for you financially.
Right.
But your exposure, your ability to reach more people, and your own standing in the firm, I'm sure, has been incredibly motivated.
Yes, it certainly has. It certainly has.
Same way, do they?
Right. That's right. And as importantly, as important as that is, and certainly the financial rewards are, wonderful and has helped me and my family, but has also, as we said, success begets success.
Yeah.
But it allows me to be confident that when I'm talking to people now, I'm being authentic. And when I say to someone, I believe I can, if they're the right people for me. So that's one thing also that I've learned to be a little bit more, I can't think of the term, but
more selective
in with the people I work with. I really want to make sure that I'm the right person and they're the right fit for each other. Then I know I could really be impactful. And I say that where I never would have said that before.
Such a great so I just want to say the transformation is, really so exhilarating and so gratifying for, just to watch it and to have watched this evolution of yours, and to know, when I say that mindset matters, that's a nice phrase and it's catchy, but I love the fact that we can share the actual, this is how it actually worked. And these are the steps. So thank you so much for sharing. Where can people find you, Rochelle? Where can people find you when they want to actually talk about their finances?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, so you could find me at Rochelle Odesser on LinkedIn.
I'm going to post your link on LinkedIn.
Thank you. Or you can always email me at rodesser@madisonplanning.com.
Perfect. We'll put all of that information in the
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with me, and thank you everybody for watching. And just remember, this is really, it is a journey, and it's not once and done. We're constantly working on our mindsets all the time. And every time a new situation comes up, we're going to be called upon to really tap into the resources that we build. So the better resources you build on your mindset, the better your results are going to be.
That's right.
I'm Nancy Fox, the Business Fox. Please hit the subscribe button if you like what you've been hearing and learning, and if you love all these transition and transformation stories, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.